Okay, hey guys, Crazy back here, and today I am going to share with you guys my Dagger PvE build. Well, Dagger is a bit more better in PvE wise than Qatar, only in like MVP and possibly Tetra if yours not lagging. So yeah, but in dungeon runs, I still think Qatar is better. Yeah, Qatar is way better in dungeon runs like TOC, ladder, also Juperus, and yeah. But depends though. Some people think that Dagger is still better in Juperus. For my character, I don't think it is. Maybe yeah, but nah. My Qatar is definitely better in Juperus. If you have a Drake card or if you use mechanic. Well, without further ado, let's go. Okay guys, this is my stat distribution for PvE. As long as you have like a 500% ASPD, you don't need this as much as Aggie. So I pump more on STR, Int, and Luck. Yeah, so why Int is mostly because of my MOM set to maximize the SP. See, this is my base SP without entering battle. Okay, so this is my skill distribution for Dagger PvE, as you can see. First job, this is the second job. I put the red cut over here because I'm using Stem Worm. I'll explain that later on when I explain about the cards. And this, second job, and then third job. Oh yeah, that's it. As for settings, this is my auto settings. I don't put Vicious Tempest or Cross Impact inside. I only put Erosion Smog because I believe this one gives the most maximum damage output. I tried others, but yeah, this one is still the best. Okay, moving on to equipment, we have Dagger. I use Dagger for both of my Dagger. Well, the name is Dagger, so yeah, built Dagger. I use Dagger on both, and then for the set I use Master of Magic set, and for accessories I'm using Chaos. Silver Glory. Fuck. Accessory I'm using Silver Glory on both. I've tested it with New Hope, Chaos, and Silver Glory. I think both the winning ones are either Silver Glory or Chaos. Both are good. Chaos is dependent on your higher stat, and yeah, Silver Glory is a good alternative as well. So the damage difference is only by a little bit, so any of those Chaos or Silver Glory will do. As for headgear, I'm using Elf Barret, but this is not the best headgear because I don't have it yet. The best headgear is actually Cookie Rudder, and this Cookie Rudder you can obtain from Wishing Point Redemption or the optional gacha one. See, I'm still looking for it and my score to redeem is quite low. I'm still way off, but yeah, I'll get it soon. Okay, moving on to the face wear, I'm using Mech Monocle. No debate, quite good. Like one of the best DPS face wear. For mouth, Maple Solitaire. There's a lot of other solid options, but this one is a good free-to-play option. Like, yeah, there's a lot of others, other option for pay-to-win stuff, but yeah, I think this one is quite decent. As for back wear, Azure Melody. This is pay-to-win, but yeah, you can use just about anything. But the best one is a pay-to-win slot, which is Book of Oath. I think that is the best DPS backwear for almost any job. Okay, so costume, Mango Breeze. This is still the best. Can't really say there's any other better costume for the DPS one, but yeah, if you want to go PvP or dungeon runs with this, maybe it's better off to have a tankier build because this practically gives not much defense. This is only like offense, skill damage mostly. And in the soon upcoming update, we can see how much our skill damage will be, like in our stats. They added to our character stat panel. Okay, so right now I am going to share with you guys what I put on my cards. For my cards, I am using Sidewinder and Fendark. And this one, the other one is Double Race. Why I don't put size is just for me to balance out, because the best in PvE is actually to balance out size and race, unlike PvP. PvP you tend to stack one, either size or race, which one you prefer. But yeah, for here I try to balance it out. If I put like Minorus, this is for a large brute by the way. If I put Minorus, I think my size would be a lot more than my race, which is the brute one in this case. So I don't put Minorus over here. And this armor, I'm using Baby Desert Wolf for the SP. Int and SP, it's for the Masters of Magic set. This one, I'm using Vagabond Wolf. Decent. Another option, if you don't have Vagabond Wolf, you can actually put this Trildora Int, which gives a bit of SP. Either that, or you can use this one also, Baphomet Jr., Aggie and Crit. Yeah, those two are decent options. Okay, so for shoes I'm using Verit. Well, I believe Verit is the best shoes there is for this, especially we're using MOM. It gives 6% SP, max SP, which is very high. Okay, on both. And then here you go, accessory, Aether Stemworm. And then my new Owl Baron. I'm so happy. But yeah, my other Owl Baron becomes useless now, so I'm thinking on a way to like handle this. Maybe I'll just put it on my card deck, and the one on my card deck I'll just depot it, and the others I dismantle, whatever. So yeah, this one. So explaining about why I'm using two Aether Stemworm instead of like Wind Ghost or any other proc card there is actually this Stemworm. The unique effect. After releasing Red Cut, increase normal attack damage by Red Cut level times 2%. So it doesn't matter whether it's Red Cut from this one, the Aether card Stemworm, or the normal Stemworm. Because it's a unique effect, you're not required to have like two Aether card Stemworm. You can just have one Aether card Stemworm and a normal Stemworm, and the unique effect can be applied by any Red Cut. Yeah, so yeah, that's why more trigger chances for the Red Cut, the higher my normal attack is. So yeah, that's why I put it there. And of course, for any crit jobs, you might want to have the Aether card Orc Archer. Yeah, this one for the, especially for the unique effect skill. When attack crits, use double strafe immediately once. So most of our attack crits, and we are ASPD based job, so it's like continuous double strafe. Yeah, that's why this is quite important. Owl Baron, of course, if you don't have this, then Owl Baron Illusion will do. Yeah. For headwear, I'm using King Dramo, but before I had this King Dramo, I actually used double Carrot for the max SP. It's very high, max SP 300. So yeah, if you don't have King Dramo, you can put double Carrot. So moving on to facewear. Facewear, I'm using Edgar Puppet. Yeah, depending on the size, depending on the race itself. This mouthwear, Rosy Kiss is very good for us, especially we are AA based, which is auto attack based, normal attack. So yeah, that 1% chance of increasing P damage of the attack by 100% with no cooldown is quite insane. Okay, and Mutant Savage Babe, if you don't have any of this, like you can put any cards actually, but this one is a game changer for the DPS. Rosy Kiss, might want one of those. Backwear. Backwear, I'm still using Deviling Puppet 2, but there are other slightly better alternative, but not as much. Like for backwears, over here, it gives an additional ASPD, so you don't actually need to pump up much of your Aggie stat, and you can reallocate it elsewhere. For example, this one gives STR and int as well. Yeah, so one hammer. Other than that, this one, all stats +1, not bad to have. Yeah, or if you're a whaler, then these. Sheesh, scary. Okay, as for my costume, I use Steampunk and Summer Trend just to balance out your size and race. So if you feel like you're lacking in size, you can go for double Steampunk. If you're lacking in race, you can go for Summer Trend. The key is to balance it out. This is only for PvE. Okay guys, okay, let's move on to the Cogwheels. Well, I don't know why, after several testing, this Corrosive Poison and Energy Storm, this is actually a very good Smelden skill to have. And other than that, maybe you want to have Holy Light Shield, Jagged Slash as well for the red cut, and Mana Length Reversal. I actually want the bottom one for this Mana Length Reversal to be either Crimson Harvest, this one. For every 20 single target attacks, you cast an additional Crimson Slash, whose damage multiplier is 300%. Yeah, this one. But yeah, I don't know. Or maybe Poison Boost, though it's not that much significant in damage, additional damage. Yeah, well, those two. Okay, so moving on to our enchants. For headwear, backwear, and costume, I'm using Superior P attack. The rest is to balance out luck. I want as much as luck as possible. For the melee, balancing out with max SP, STR for shoes, most definitely. And yeah. So for this, you see I mix match this Superior Crit and melee because I find out, no, I don't know whether this works on your characters, but I tested it out in dummy, and to balance out melee damage percentage and crit damage percentage actually tends to give out a higher DPS than pumping one up. Yeah, but you can test what works on your character. I don't know, because maybe each character works differently, not sure, but yeah, as you can see right over here. So because of the Fendark, actually my melee P damage is higher than my crit damage. Well, in fact, it's actually like quite normal. Yeah, to balance it out. This is as close as I can get from one another. The difference is only like 4%, 4.4%, which is, yeah, okay. Okay, now moving on to Nebula path. Nebula, I'm still using this Venom Sting, and allocation, I'm still using the same thing. I don't unlock all these, I just put on the things that I believe I need for PvE stuff. Yeah. And now let's move on to Sigil. Sigil, I'm using Nether Force, still tier 1, Impel tier 2, Choice of Faith 4. This one must be 4, or else don't bother use. Soul Mark level 4. Either this, there's optional for this Soul Mark part. If you don't want to use this, you can use, for MVP TRs, you can use Choice Mace if you have a healer. If you don't have a healer, don't bother, because your HP will drop insane because of your ASPD base. Yeah. Other than Soul Mark, you can use Starfall, or the best, one of the best is actually Berserk, but you need it to be level 4 to be equivalent to Soul Mark level 4. Okay. Oh, if you have a Cosmic level 2 or above, maybe you can consider Cosmic, since Cosmic, I heard Cosmic is quite good for auto attack based. Yeah. Okay, going on to feathers, just because I'm so lazy on like changing from PvE to PvP. I used to have like 2 presets, like a lot of presets, but then I don't use it anymore because of the new capping it to 10 stars. Yeah, I don't have that much resources, so I'm using both on PvP and PvE, the same set of feathers. Okay, moving on to the mount equipment. Again, I explain this one is a matter of your own character. I choose crit damage percentage to minimize the gap between crit damage and melee damage percentage for my character. Well, it works that way for my character. I don't know whether it works for your character. I'm just explaining how I test it out on mine. So yeah, this one, this large enemy, you can have several presets. Okay, going on to Nexus engine. Nexus engine is quite simple. Okay, back again, balancing out between melee damage and crit damage. That's all. But for this, induction, which is quite good because our erosion smog is AoE, but we do want a single target for the other one. Like for example, this one. Instead of putting action over here, maybe you want a deduction. Deduction, which is same thing as this one, the AoE skill damage, but deduction is single target skill damage, ST. Because the burst, we don't actually use the burst in, as you can see in the auto skill. I don't use the burst. And I've tried it, but the damage isn't as big as erosion smog somehow. For modules, you can see. I'm balancing it out. I use Barbarity over here instead of Celerity because we don't use movement-based skills in PvE much. As you can see, not that I don't have it, but yeah, I do. Like, where is it? See, I have a melee Celerity one, but I don't. I just Barbarity is mostly useful for PvE stuff. Okay, so for talent, the most important thing for talent is this one. Actually, cross parry, I don't know whether it's useful or not for PvE content. I don't think it's necessary, but yeah, it's good to have if you are sharing your PvE and PvP stuff. I have a separate one, Dagger PvE, Dagger PvP, and yeah, Qatar PvE and Qatar PvP. So yeah, so this one is not that necessary for PvE. This is quite good also. This is decent. Not necessary. But the most necessary one is Poison Mastery and Cross Impact. These two. If you have these two and maybe Ruthless, then you can actually make do with the PvE dagger build. You don't necessarily have to gacha it for this, or you can just take your time on it. Okay, moving on to deck. Deck, I'm still using Minor Brutality, Major Brutality, and Might of Ymir, but I'm still testing out some things. Like, I have a theory which I haven't actually practiced yet. Like, what if in one of my Dagger card slot, I remove one of it, for example, from just now, Fendark, and I put Red Eruma. Red Eruma gives Water Ball, which is a magic damage attack. What if I put Red Eruma and actually up this one over here, Major Prophecy? It gives more stack of Empower, more chance on the stack, and it's a continuous attack. If you actually have Red Eruma yourself, you might know, or if you have that new headwear. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a theory. I haven't tested out, but let's see. Once I have the cards. I don't have the cards. Not enough anyway. And yeah, Might of Ymir. I'm trying to up this into all like 1-star or 2-star. I think this one is good to increase. Okay, Soul Force. I'm still using the PvE Flame Arbiter because it gives a good damage boost in PvE. You can see all this damage versus all size and stuff. Yeah, you can read it yourself. Nightingale Echo. I'm using Cyclone Wrath. I'm still not yet level 51 and above. There's some additional special skills. That's why it's kind of quite important for free-to-plays to actually farm at the PK field. Okay, moving on to mount stats. I'm using Fiery Koi because it gives crit damage. But yeah, if you don't have that, you can use about any of the DPS one. The free-to-play one is actually quite simple. You get from TOC. The coffin thing. This one. 3% P attack and STR dex, not bad. Not to mention the int for your SP. Okay. So I guess that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video, which I will put about the Dagger PvP build. That is fun. See ya. Bye.